Page 25, Waltz for 4 hands. Well, that's a trick. Actually, it's a duet. A duet is when you have 2 people playing at the same time. It could be any instruments or a voice or whatever. That's a duet. So on page 24, there's the teacher's part. They call it the secondo or secundo, depending on how you spell it or what country you're from. And it is the lower part. Second part. Second doesn't mean second class. It just means the lower part. And on page 25 is the primo, or the top part, or the first part. You're going to do the top part, and the teacher will do the bottom part at the same time. You can do it on the same piano. It's fine. There's plenty of room. And this is one where you're going to be up playing higher on the keyboard, so you can actually sit higher up. You can move up. Because normally, I tell you, even when you're playing at the extremes, higher and lower, stay where you are and just reach. But with this kind of a thing, you can, especially if both of you are on the same piano, you might even be sharing the piano bench or something. You got to move over for them. Okay, so let's look this over. I'm going to take both hands at the same time because both hands are playing the same note names, just an octave apart. So it's 4 lines long, but there's repeat signs everywhere, and there's a DC al fine, so it's actually 10 lines long. I'll come back to that a little bit later. No sharps or flats in the key signature. When the key is C major, make sure you can do the C major scale, blah, blah, blah. You can fill in the blah, blah, blahs. Okay. 3/4 time. Well, it's a waltz. Waltzes are in 3/4 time. Makes sense. So let's try this out. Both hands together now. And what the notes are here. And there's a note at the top above it. Say both hands an octave higher. So instead of here, you just pretend middle C instead of here is here. So instead of here, you're up here. For the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to play them where written because you can hear them better. Here. And you can play them up there when you do the duet. So you're here, and it's 1 and 2, and again, I connect everything at first. We'll do all these staccatos and junk later. So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... So you're just playing the same note names, but you might be using different fingers, so you gotta watch out that. Now measure 9 is a little different. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 1 and... So you go through and get the notes and rhythm worked out. And no hesitations, especially when you're playing with people, because you mess them up if you hesitate, or if they hesitate, it messes you up, and nobody gets along. Okay. Then the articulation. I'm going to flex at the wrist, short staccatos here. That's all. And then on measure 9, you get accents. So give them a little extra oomph, just a little. So on the first beat of every measure, there's a natural accent anyway, so you feel it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But that's felt. You don't force it. It's like at the beginning. You feel that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. But measure 9, those are forced. Those are louder. Now there's no accent there. And then the last measure has lines. Those little lines. Those are tenuto lines. And that means linger on the note. Like, try and play these, hold them out as long as you possibly can without messing up the beat. The beat has to be a steady beat, but don't cut these short. Don't cut them short. Just you linger on them just as much as you can. Some people would say, well, you put a little more stress on them. I don't. In some music, you have to watch how it's edited, because sometimes an editor will intend for you to put more stress on it. Other times the editor uses these marks, they don't intend that. So you have to watch out on what's going on. Here, I don't think it's appropriate to put more stress on it because you're already loud, it's forte, and we don't need that. Just linger on them. Just hold them at the full length. Speaking of dynamics, mezzo piano, and this is going to be both hands. That's just whatever you think sort of soft is. And Now, measure 9, moderately loud, mezzo forte, that makes the accented notes loud for that one note. But on the measures with no accents, you just do the natural accents. So you feel that 1, 2, 3, 1. Just with an accent, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, rather than 1, 2. No. Speed, allegretto is between moderato and allegro. I call it the fun speed. It's just have fun with it. How fast can you play these last two lines correctly? And that's going to be your allegretto. Don't go faster than that. Just like measures 13 and 14. There. For some reason, I struggle with that measure. So however fast you can do those accurately, that's how fast you can go. Now the repeat signs and all that, well, you see the repeat sign at the end of the second line, so you're going to do the first two lines twice. And then the second two lines are surrounded by repeat signs, so you're going to do them twice. Then there's a DC Alfini at the bottom. DC, remember, means go back to the beginning. You know, don't ask questions, don't collect $200 or none of that, just go to the beginning. And you go to Fine. Fine is at the end of the second line. So you simply go back and play the first two lines again. Okay. Now if you have a short keyboard, you can't really go up here and do this. But you're going to have problems if you're trying to do duets on a short keyboard, because you won't be able to, the bottom part won't be able to get down as low as they need to go either. So you kind of need a bigger keyboard on duets like this. They put in a ritardando in the last measure down there, here. That's a little dangerous on duets. You can try it. It might work here because the bottom part is resting. They play something on the first beat of the measure and that's it. So if you want to slow down there, so the last two measures. But again, hang on to these tenuto, the quarter notes, as long as so. Make the silence in between them as short as possible. And you're getting softer. So. And then you take off again at the top. But how much you slow down and whether you slow down and all that, that's really pretty much up to you. I mean, it says to slow down, but again, it's all part of interpreting the music. Let's play this together very slowly and double check the notes and rhythms. Now, I want to do this here where it's written, not up here, because it's easier to hear the notes if you're down here. So let's play it down here for this part of it, even though you're going to play it higher when you do it yourself. And we're going to do all the repeats and the DC and everything. I'm just not going to do the dynamics. I will do the accents, but I won't do the louds and softs and stuff. And I can't slow down because the metronome won't slow down. 1 and ready and go, and 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and rest and. 1, 2, repeat. 2 and rest and. 1, 2, rest. 1, rest. I'd like to do the duet part on page 24, and you can play your part on page 25. Now let's just try this together. You'll be able to hear it, I can't hear it. But I'm going to take it about a speed, about a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So make sure you can play these eighth notes about that fast, or this won't work. That's actually a little on the slow side, but we'll take it that speed for this. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. Repeat. Repeat.